Welcome to the Boston Art Podcast,
Boston's premier art podcast,
where we talk art, culture, and philosophy.
My name is Theodore Earthworms.
And I am Brian Huntress.
Welcome to the show.
Blah, 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 blah. Boston Art Podcast. So let's give up some context. First things first, tonight we went...
Mount Washington.
It reads on the bumper sticker on the car in front of us. I had an art show in Lowell.
Woo!
The featured artist at Lowell Telemedia Center at the, one of the mill buildings. It's the local TV and radio station for Lowell, Massachusetts. Good times. Shout out to Wednesday. Thank you for setting that up for me. So, it's been up for the month of April. And tonight was, the celebration of that art hanging.
Yeah, it was really, really fun. And a lot of good friends came out.
That's a lie. My parents came, and that was nice. And my grandparents came. That was hilarious. And there was 3 to 5 other people. We had Trevor Sullivan play, 0 at best. Shout out to Trevor.
Long-time listeners will know. And shout out to Trevor.
After that, and Trevor did a great set, did an iconic cover of my song from 2015, Facebook Horoscope. I wrote that about a friend of mine from back in the day. It was interesting because Trevor kind of reshaped some of the lyrics a little bit in very slight ways. And it was funny because the way that he sang it felt like a bit of a love song. Did it feel like a love song? Do you remember any of the lyrics from that?
A little bit. I can see that vibe. I would need to look at the lyrics to be able to assess, but...
Yeah, it was a song about having a close friendship with somebody and having it be a destructive force where you are both agents of chaos in your own lives and ruining each other's lives and other people's lives, and you're just 2 dumb assholes in 2015. You relate?
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyway, yeah, so Trevor did that. That was cool. After that, the Lowell comedian Casey Woods did a spot, as the comedians say.
It was so funny. It was really good. He was
funny as shit. So, and to give you some context, my grandparents were there. And this guy's talking about, Hitler and penises and sex and this and that and
specifically
and drugs and I don't know. He was just he was hilarious, but was just unbelievably vulgar. Not really. He wasn't being unbelievably vulgar, but my grandparents were just there in the front, just like completely not vibing, and that was hilarious because they're senior citizens.
Why'd you pass me the mic?
Well, I thought maybe you had something to say about my grandparents.
I love your grandparents.
They're very sweet little old people. They're great. Anyway, so Casey did a great job. After that, Joel Mangian closed out the night.
Yeah, great job.
Some great tunes.
It was a really fun time.
The great American folk singer and host of Black Market Therapy. A great podcast. Legendary. Legendary. I'm just really filling up I'm just filling in as much context as possible.
I think that's good. That's good context.
For no particular reason.
We've done this before, but we're on post-show feeling. We're leaving the show and kind of processing what we just experienced.
But the funny part about that is that actually isn't true. But the show ended, everybody left, but then alone in the room was me, you, Wednesday, Joel, and Trevor, and we all had a very, very in-depth, personal, and highly interesting conversation for like 2.5 hours about art, life,
culture and philosophy.
The world, culture, philosophy.
Longtime listeners will remember that the thesis of the show when we first started out was to capture that post-show conversation feeling where you just debunk with other artists for like 2 hours and shoot the shit. And that's what we did, and we forgot to record it, so...
Debunking with other people shooting the shit.
What?
I was just saying. I was refraining. I was saying, yeah, that's what we're doing.
Interesting.
I love you.
Sounds like you're picking on me.
I'm not. I love you.
Those things are not mutually exclusive.
But yeah, so that all happened, and then we talked to Trevor. Shout out to Trevor for a few minutes.
Shout out to Trevor. Longtime listeners will know.
And then he walked over to the parking garage, and then we got in our car.
Hopefully that worked out for him.
He texted me. It did. He got his car. We got into ours. We drove off into the night.
And right now we're in the night.
Turned on the recorder.
Yeah, you're bringing us right up to the present moment, huh?
We're back to the present. We're back to the present. The flashback is over.
All right. Do the future flash forward.
Future flash.
Where will we be?
We're in Miami on a stack, a giant 8-foot by 8-foot stack of $100 bills. There's presidents all around us from all types of countries.
In Miami?
Former, future presidents everywhere.
Your fantasy of being a billionaire
we have piles
in Miami.
of
you could have said anywhere. You
piles
could have said,
of cocaine.
Rome. You could ew.
Piles of cocaine everywhere.
You would be a tacky rich person.
I've never even done cocaine in my life.
That's good. Me neither.
I almost did crack once.
Okay, I haven't, but it's fine. As I was saying, if I were rich, where I'm gonna be, I should say, in how far in the future is this? 3 years?
Next week.
Okay, well, where I'll be next week is on a 9 by 9 foot stack of $100 bills.
Okay. Disrespectful.
Whatever. And I will be in Rome at one of my 3 villas.
3?
Yes. The other 2 are in other locations.
Okay.
And I am sitting on one of many stacks of money. This is actually my smallest. And I also own a bunch of like liquid assets.
Just liquid ones, just all types of. What about gas?
Nitrogen. I have some bottles of liquid nitrogen.
It's different varieties of matter.
Mm-hmm. No, liquid.
Oh yeah.
Do you not understand what I'm saying?
Liquid.
It's because you're poor.
Isn't liquid matter? Liquid is a type of matter. Or is it a form of matter?
I didn't go to school.
Speak up. You didn't go to school? You did. You went to the Heart Home School.
Wisdom's Hearth Project. We are registered with the government.
What a sweet name.
It is really sweet, actually. It's kind of nice. Secret lore.
Secret lore.
If you make me talk about homeschooling right now, I'm going to kill myself.
I'm not gonna. But I did have... I'm just kidding.
Shut up! So, I was thinking about some things.
What the fuck are you going to say?
Why are you immediately being... You stole my bit. I was going to be antagonistic to you.
Alright, what were you thinking about?
Why the fuck you don't like me and you don't remember when I shaved my eyebrows off? Like, how the fuck do you not remember that?
So wait.
What?
When you say shaved your eyebrows off, didn't we get to the bottom of this? Yeah. Weren't we talking about... Wasn't it a time period where you didn't shave your eyebrows, you shaved half of them off?
I left about like a dime size amount of hair in the front of them.
Yeah, we got to the bottom of this. I remember you doing it. You explained to me why you did it, and I noticed after you took your makeup off. But then, I kind of just forgot about it because I don't think I could really tell when you put your eyebrows on.
But I'm not wearing makeup when I'm around you all the time.
I know. So, like at nighttime when you took your makeup off and we were chilling,
and I had no eyebrows,
I could see that there was only a portion of your eyebrows remaining.
Yeah, I would hope.
But that's different than being someone with no eyebrows.
I think it's close enough that you should have known what I meant.
But I don't even know when that was. What job did you have when you did that?
None.
So this was this before or after we got COVID?
This was when I first moved back to the South Shore, and I did not have a job. I was working for my dad.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was doing...
Yeah, that was before the bank.
Yeah, I got pandemic laid off from my gallery job that I loved and had to move home and work construction for my dad. And I shaved off my eyebrows.
And shot a nail gun through your hand.
Not on purpose.
It was on purpose. It was a cry for help.
I actually, no, for real though, like, I was very upset about all of that, obviously, because it was a complete redirect and made me, like, really start from scratch again. But I think
the nail gun?
No.
Oh.
That was not on purpose. That was not a part of the plot. It just happened.
So when you accidentally shot yourself with a nail gun...
No, not related to what I'm saying.
What was the turning point or the awakening? Or the wake-up call? What were you saying?
What?
I was trying to go back to what you were saying when I didn't understand.
No, I was trying to say, before you so rudely interrupted me, that although that was a big reset, like career-wise, I really enjoyed working construction. I think it's really fun to do like labor-based creative things.
Creative things. I think there's something I need to point out.
What?
I'm starving and thirsty and tired. You're probably starving, thirsty, and tired.
Yeah.
It's Thursday night at 10:45 p.m. We got no episodes in the queue, which is why we're really, really committed to pushing through this. And I just want to say publicly and apologize that because of my condition as a tired, hungry person, I did not fully and adequately engage with the point you just made.
It's okay.
Very sorry about that.
It's okay. Do you want me to continue?
Yeah. There's no rules. Keep going.
Okay.
I don't know. What? How do I get you back on the rails? What were we just?
Well, I was gonna say, I was leading into that I've been thinking a lot about, well, for example, the kind of art that I usually make is, like, I usually sit in, like, a little nest of my materials and have them all around me and work on something really small, or do the same thing on a larger scale, like on a wall or something, and just stay in one spot and make something decorative. And I've had some experiences lately where I was doing much more physically taxing work that I would put, like, maybe move the needle a little bit further away from, like, decorative crafting and more towards, like, physical labor, but that was still artistic. And I was thinking about the overlaps between something like carpentry and, like, framework and siding specifically, and how that's, well, I guess it depends if you're talking about siding or framework, but, like, framework is structural and important for, like, the bones of a house, and siding is decorative in a way, but it's also functional. And how that relates to other art forms. Like, for example, I got to spend 5 hours helping out Alex Adamo, who we interviewed. Alex makes art, working on wet felting giant vessels, like 4-foot wide felt vessels. Wet felting for the Community Arts Initiative install that she's doing, that will be posted in the Lindy Gallery at the Museum of Fine Arts. It's a 30-foot long sculpture, and she needed help doing, like, a small component of that sculpture, and I got to help with that, and along with a bunch of other people that were helping her out as part of the team that showed up a few days ago on the last day. Maybe it was yesterday, I don't even remember. I've had a wild couple of days. But part of that process was, like, it was a lot of really tactile activity, like pouring hot water onto bubble wrap on top of the felt and pushing it in different directions with your hands to, like, mesh the fibers together to kind of get it to tighten a little bit more, and then physically beating it out against the table to beat some of the soap out, and then washing it and lifting it and squeezing it, rolling it up and, like, rolling it back and forth for long periods of time. It was very physically taxing, and it smelled like wool, and it was wet, and it was warm, and it was very engaging in a way that I usually don't engage with my art, and I really enjoyed it. It was making me think a lot about doing carpentry.
That sounds really intense.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Congratulations to Alex, by the way.
Yeah, so exciting. I think she said that she is 10 months into this project.
Could you do a little bit of a background reminder about what's up with the project that she's doing?
Yeah, it's the Community Arts Initiative sculpture. It's a multi-part install, but the opening reception is on May 12th at the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. And the component that I was working on was the 30-foot install. I mean, I just said this, but...
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, no, that's okay. Fucking awesome. Yeah, dude, doing fucking work that is, like, actually, like laborious like that physically, and it's, like, you know, it has these crossovers with the craft world. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's difficult. I feel like I didn't mean to interrupt or steamroll your point.
No, you didn't interrupt. It's okay.
Oh, I thought I pissed you off a little bit.
No.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I don't know. I feel weird now.
I think it's
Am
okay.
I being weird?
I mean...
Are you being weird?
I feel like you feel weird because you're hungry.
You know...
You're having trouble focusing.
I don't smoke weed, but I remember something from when I did smoke weed.
Yeah.
Which is like that point where you get so high that you think everybody's mad at you.
Yeah.
Or that, like, something's wrong or you're talking weird.
I know exactly what you're going to say. Do you feel like that when you're hungry?
I think that's what being hungry is like.
Yeah. It's so funny that you're saying that, because I have felt like that all day.
Really?
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because we're traveling soon or something. But for the last, week, I have had extremely high levels of anxiety just all the time. And it's so consistent that I'm aware of the fact that it's not situational. Like, it's not because something's happening. It's not because I did something. But I just have this feeling. Like, you know the feeling of when you get in, like, a really big fight with somebody over text, and then you put your phone down and you're just living your regular life, but it's like you have, like, bubble wrap around your head and you're just thinking about how this person's mad at you?
Yes.
And then you try not to think about it and you're focusing on other stuff, but you still feel, like, generally bad, even if you're not focusing on why you feel bad?
Yes.
It feels like that, but nothing happened.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
It's been like that for, like, 6 days.
Do you think it's because we're traveling?
I don't know, dude, because I'm excited about traveling and I don't feel anxious about it.
I'm so scared to. Have we talked about this on the podcast at all?
We haven't talked about this in person. Why are you scared?
No, I meant on the...
Oh.
No, have
that we're
we
traveling?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
maybe.
we're both going to England. We're going out overseas into Europe for the very first time.
In 3 days.
In 3 days, we are very scared.
I'm not scared.
We're very scared that there's... you want to hear a weird fear that I have about going to England?
Sure.
I'm afraid that I'm going to be trying to buy something at a store or, like, order a coffee, and then a British employee at the place of business that I'm at is going to be wicked mean to me.
Why?
Because I'm stupid and I don't know how to, like, order a coffee in England. That's an anxiety vision that I've had, like, a million times thinking about going to England.
I am nervous about the money thing because I feel like the exchange rate, the American dollar is pretty similar to the pound in terms of strength, but I think the pound is stronger right now. But it's, like, just enough that it's like I feel like I'm going to spend money without thinking about it and be like, that's basically the same, and then realize that I spent, like, $400 more than I thought that I did because of the exchange rate.
Yeah, I think the exchange rate is that the pound is, like somewhere between 20 to 40 cents more than $1.
Yeah.
So every pound is, like, $1.50 almost.
That adds up.
It does. My plan is to make sure that I have cash as money from England, British money, oi bruv money, and try to only spend from that money. I feel like if I'm swiping my card willy-nilly, then I might be in trouble. I don't know.
I just got very distracted because that sign just said that the De Cordova Museum is over here.
Do you mean De Corvida?
De Cordova.
I feel like weary if I should go into that.
No, let's not do it. I don't want to do museum talk right now.
No museum talk.
We already did that for like 3 hours, like just now. So I'm sorry, listeners, but I'm burnt out on that right now. I need to just talk to you.
All right.
We're being weird when we talk about art. We just need to keep talking about shit.
I need to talk about something a little bit meta, though.
Okay.
It's not museum talk, but I want to talk about museum talk or art world talk.
Don't feel up to that right now.
No. I'm not going to make you talk about that. I'm just saying, like, I find it so fascinating that talking about that stuff takes a little, like, a tax of my soul. Like, it's like somebody's, like somebody, like, took, just a little spoon scoop of my well-being when I talk about things like that sometimes.
How come?
I don't know. I think because it's so hard to... no, it's happening. No, that's what's happening now. While I say the words, that's what's happening.
Well, you're the one who wanted to talk about it.
I thought that I could, but apparently I can't, so I won't.
It's okay. I just don't want to talk about it because... I don't know if I should...
It's happening to you. Oh, what?
Well...
If you don't think you should get into it, you probably shouldn't.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. Arts administration is my line of work, so I deal with this, like... Well, I don't want to say deal with it, because I love it. But I worked a whole shift today, and then we talked about it, and now we're talking about it again.
Yeah,
I got to work, like, 13 hours ago.
Fuck that shit, dog. Can I tell you what's going on in my brain real quick?
Okay.
I am so overstimulated because we're recording, which means that I'm not even remotely relaxed, like, mentally. And for some reason, it sounds like we're inside of a spaceship because your car is loud. Like the wind outside of the car is loud.
Oh.
And I don't have my pillow designed to relieve and alleviate pain from coccyx tailbone injuries.
Oh.
So my tailbone hurts badly, and it's loud, and we're recording. But the tricky part, the tough part is we're fucking lifers. We're committed. Nobody could stop us. Kill or be killed. Alpha shit. We have to record.
Don't say alpha shit.
Alpha shit, dog.
No.
Why are you being mad at me?
Because that's gross.
How are you gonna just disrespect me while I'm making a cool point? Are you just gonna, like, throw shit at my face while I'm making a cool point?
Say, like, dude-averse shit to me.
I wasn't. I would...
Alpha...
Now I feel disrespected because you got so caught up in criticizing my verbiage that you don't know what the overall point I was making is.
I know what the overall point was.
Tell me what it is.
That we're recording anyway.
Yeah, we are, because we're about that life.
I mean, personally, I was trying to get a hiatus to happen.
So what? You're just comfortable with just letting the release days pass by while we are empty-handed?
No.
I'm not down with that.
Yeah.
And I think in your heart of hearts, you're not either. We're committed to this shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if it's hard sometimes, because our listeners love us at our worst and our best. I have no idea if that's true or not. I made that up.
I had a really cool conversation with somebody who I met the other night. Her name is Stephanie, and she's friends with Alex Adamo, and I met her at the wet felting event. And she actually had listened to the podcast, and it was the first time that I met her, and it was really interesting, and it was cool, because she had listened to a couple different episodes, and she said that something that she likes about hearing us talk to artists and talk about art is that there's a lot of podcasts out there where people talk about things in a way where they're not, like, as engaging, but that it really comes across when we talk about this stuff that it's something that we really care about. And I felt really touched by that feedback.
Shouts out. Thank you for the good feedback. But I just want to actually take a break from sincerity and cool stuff real quick to bring it back. I feel petty and insulted.
Huh?
I feel petty and insulted.
Why do you feel at me?
Not really. I was ironically saying alpha shit to be funny, and you yelled at me.
I'm sorry.
And you made me feel
like a beta?
You made me feel like a beta bitch.
That's because you are.
How could you say this to me? We're
I
supposed to
wasn't-
love each other and build each other up
wasn't-
and make each other feel confident and good about ourselves.
I didn't say that people can't say alpha.
And you just
I
said that
you.
I'm a
I
bitch.
said you can't say alpha.
I can say it ironically for fun.
Yeah, ironically.
I'm not
only.
saying.
You need to know your
I'm not
fucking
saying.
place.
I'm not saying. Yo, fuck therapy. Take male enhancement steroid pills.
No.
You're
not listening to me.
Listen to anti-mental health podcasts.
No.
Die young.
I said you can't say it because you're a beta.
What are you doing right now?
What?
You're fucking with me.
I am fucking with you. I wouldn't.
No,
use
you're
those-
ironically making fun of me because you're doing a bit where the bit is attack me.
I kind of feel like that's what you're doing right now, actually.
I'm not. I'm engaging in a fun petty squabble.
So it's not. a bit.
Not a personal attack on your character.
This is your character?
No, you are making a personal attack on my character while I am merely trying to engage in a petty squabble.
By calling you a beta?
I didn't call myself a beta. You are attacking my character by saying that I'm a bitch.
You did say that you were a beta bitch. You
I
just
did
said that.
not say that I did not say that at all.
You said that a second ago, ironically. You literally did.
I said
was
that
playing
you
off of
called me
your-
that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I said that you made me feel like that by telling me that saying alpha is, I don't know, bad.
Sorry.
And then so you misunderstood me and then said, yeah, you are a bitch.
No, I was agreeing with you that was my intent. Jokingly, though.
Well, I think ironically saying beta is worse than ironically saying alpha.
You know what? I agree with that.
Do you really? I kind of do too. Because I said it just to throw something in your face, like arbitrarily, but then as I said it, I agreed with it.
Yeah, I actually, I typically would just stick my heels in the ground and, say that I'm right, but I will agree with you on this, that, beta sounds so vile to say. Alpha is still kind of bad. It's cringy, but
bad.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, that's why yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Beta is, a violent,
Creepy.
angry, creepy kind of...
Yeah, you sound like you're gonna, you need to be, red flag lawed for saying that.
You're doing something right now that you have a history of doing, and
Me?
we're not going down this path.
What?
You are getting hungry and starting to talk about bad shit again. We're stopping it here.
And the demon comes out.
And I keep talking about cool stuff too, and you're just not.
Comes out of me.
Case in fucking point.
Point in case. Did you know that for a long time, actually during high school kind of, I didn't know that the phrase or idiom case in point, I thought that phrase was point in case. And I would
really
say
funny.
it.
That's a very high school thing to do.
I would just say point in case. Being
just in case, here's my point.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know.
Point
It's
in case.
It's one of those things you ever when bone apple tea.
Bone apple. That's a meme. That's not real.
Right, but I'm saying it's a similar principle.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I think I had a few of those, but I don't remember what they are right now. But that feeling is very familiar of realizing that you've been saying something wrong for a while.
Yeah. Hey, do you think that an episode like this is good?
What does good mean?
I mean, in an arbitrary, superficial way, where perhaps an episode that's good might be one where we're fully alert, on point, and interviewing a high-level, interesting person.
Okay.
Or that's one example of good. But another example of good is when we're awake and friendly, making really, really insightful, good points, and being friendly and supportive.
Okay.
That's my two examples.
I think that this might be an entertaining episode. I don't think that it's not, but we are clashing a lot, and I don't think we're in our best form, to be honest.
We're in low form.
Yeah.
We're in low life form.
Also,
low life
you
form.
keep ziggy-zagging all over the lines.
It's honestly because I'm I don't fucking know. Sorry, I'll drive straight.
What were you gonna say?
I don't fucking know. At first I was gonna say, oh, it's because I'm recording, and then I was like, no, it's not funny. And then I was gonna say, it's because I'm drunk, but then I was like, that's a terrible joke to make like on the podcast.
Well, you just did, so.
Yeah, but it was like with meta framing around it.
Yeah,
so it doesn't
maybe
really.
wouldn't read
it doesn't have the same impact as actually doing that joke.
Yeah, if you just said that, it would be like, whoa, is he?
Yeah, people would be like, whoa. Hey, I had a point that I made to you the other day that I want to make to you again.
Okay.
Because we didn't fully get into it as good as I wanted to. But why? Okay. Ready? If I make a joke with a group of friends, like I say something funny and then everybody laughs or something, like I make a joke and everyone laughs and then everyone moves on and that's it. That's chill or whatever. That's normal. But how come when sometimes I'm in a social setting or with a whatever, and I say something where I'm completely joking, it's a joke, but then I say, just kidding. Like, why do people even say, just kidding? Because, like, I understand with sarcasm or something, maybe a JK is required. But, like, every time I say, oh, I'm just kidding, like, there's a little voice in my head that goes, yeah, obviously. And it makes me wonder, why did I say that? Like, would it be better if I made jokes, said something funny or whatever, or quippy, and then didn't say just kidding at all, just let it sit there? Would it be funnier if I let it sit there without saying JK?
I think it depends on your intended effect, because I think I'm thinking about this in a more nuanced way right now than the first time we talked about it, because we just had a conversation with some stand-up comedians about comedy and how to tell a joke.
We did, actually.
So maybe that's why I'm thinking about that right now.
I think I was peeing during that point in the conversation, but I was there a little bit.
It was a cool conversation. It wasn't super long, but I think I'm bringing that framing to this question now. And in that lens, like, if you're actually trying to be, like, for real funny, maybe, yeah, because then it's like you're not doubling down. Like, you are doubling down. Like, you're just letting the joke sit, which adds tension, which makes it funny.
Yeah.
But I think in, like, a regular social setting where you are just representing yourself and you're not necessarily, like, committing to the bit, if you say something that's kind of fucked up, it's good to follow it with a just kidding, because not everybody, like, people are sometimes really literal.
So is there but with comedy, if you were on stage doing a stand-up fucking whatever, you were doing a spot, as they say, and you said just kidding, that would be weird.
Unless it was like a bit. Maybe you could build a bit around that.
So the bit would be, it's funny to say it because it's stupid to say it.
Yeah, which makes it its own bit.
Which means that if you said it unironically, it would be stupid and not necessarily funny.
That's true. Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, I think it's maybe also redundant if you're doing stand-up comedy and you say just kidding, because fucking obviously, like, you're not just talking on stage.
Exactly. But if you were at your office at work and you, like, said okay, actually,
well,
before.
That's weird, because if you're at your office at work, you shouldn't even say anything that needs of just kidding.
Don't say anything to anybody ever. But, like.
Well, not bad.
I know. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
But I think there are types of jokes or settings, or no. There's some types of funniness that requires just kidding.
Yeah.
Like sarcasm, I think.
Yeah.
Because the joke of sarcasm is you said something untrue while pretending to be literal.
Yeah.
You, like, are making a pretend literal statement.
See, that's the kind of setting, though, where if you're the kind of person that doesn't mind letting your jokes hang in the air, and if people believe that it's true, then fuck it, that would be hilarious if you just didn't. Like, if you just let it be dubious what you actually meant, that's funny, but could also change the way that people see you depending on how hard you go with that.
Well, you know what type of person that is someone you would describe as having a dry sense of humor. Because people with dry sense of humor that are sarcastic and, like, kind of like, I don't know, like wry.
Yeah.
Like, those people are the type of people that are sarcastic and don't tell you that they're being sarcastic.
Yeah, that's true.
Interesting. Huh. So really, just kidding is a disclaimer to help out people who may have accidentally literally interpreted you, or as a disclaimer in saying, please don't be mad at me, I didn't mean it.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
I think that's probably true. It's also, I tend to use it myself as a buffer for when I feel like I might have said something that was a little too mean. Like, I have a tendency to make jokes, like, without really thinking about them, and then sometimes they come out and it's like, I didn't really say anything, like, fucked up, but as soon as I said it, I was like, maybe that was a little bit harsh. And, like, if the person laughs and doesn't mind, I don't regret saying it, but if I don't want them to take it in a way where they actually think that I'm condescending to them or that I'm judging them for something. Like, I sometimes razz my friends that have that same sense of humor, but even then, like, there are boundaries within that, and sometimes if I feel like I've taken it too far, I'll say, like, I'm just kidding, like, I don't really mean that. You know what I mean?
You know what would be really funny? I'm sure somebody out there has done this before, but imagine a sketch comedy bit where it's a group of friends razzing each other. Like, you know, maybe they're, like, playing a game of basketball or something, and someone's like, I don't know, just, like, sports razz. It's sports trash talking or something.
Yeah.
And then there's just one friend in the group who has no idea how to do it, and they just say things that are absolutely fucking way too far.
Yeah.
Or something. They're like, how would I fucking kill you? Or something. I don't know. I'm workshopping it. But just the joke would be somebody who's like just threatening people and being fucking insane when everyone else is just like razzing each other and whatever.
Yeah. I know some people that are like that.
They're like, I hope you fucking die! It's like, whoa, dude. It's just a game of pickup. I'm not giving real examples of what I think would be funny in this bit. That's why my examples aren't funny.
I'm not saying anything because I'm thinking about other ways to do this bit also.
Yeah, you know what? It's fun because I don't want to take that risk of saying something that this character would say.
I'm not him.
Well, I would say it in a video. Like, if we did this and filmed it, I would be the guy that said it. But I feel afraid to... Whatever. I don't know.
Well, in that context, they know you're just kidding.
They know I'm kidding. But in this context, maybe not.
I am so hungry that my stomach hurts.
Yeah, I'm fucking hungry as fuck, too. I'm hungry enough to have a completely bullshit argument with you right now.
Yeah, I'm mad at you.
That's real. I could have a real argument with you right now.
I'm mad at you.
Tell me why.
Because I don't think you're dwelling enough on the things that I'm saying. And I'm not kidding.
You know what's funny is I kind of feel like that, too.
What?
I feel
you
like
disagree? Wait, no, you think I'm doing that?
Both.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not...
just kidding.
Oh, I did it. Fuck.
Yeah, you beta.
Stop. What if I just said to you... What if I just said, pussy?
Shut up. You can't say that.
Why not?
That's fucked up.
Yeah, okay. Lets the silence hang in the air to make me feel worse. Why? You're agape. You're flabbergasted. Apoplectic.
Apoplectic? Wait, what the fuck? Why are you mad at me?
Because you left a pile of clothes on my chair in my room. Silence befalls the room.
You left a bag of Doritos next to my bed.
I did. They're probably old and stale. I'm sorry. Are they still there?
No. You leave a water cup next to my bed while we're on the topic on my rickety table. That is level with my pillows.
Maybe you shouldn't have a rickety table next to your bed.
It's for my phone charger.
With pillows all over the place.
It's for my phone charger. We use the stable table for my water cups.
Well, you know what I do in my room?
Put everything on the rickety table?
I also have a rickety table that has glass cups, water, coffee, a monkey statue that is also a lamp.
Yeah, and whose side of the bed is that? Not yours.
It's mine while you're not in the bed.
Yeah, but you hold me responsible anytime anything happens, ever.
Well, when pillows fly off of the bed in the middle of the night while I'm asleep, there's only one person responsible for that behavior.
Like dead sleeping, and a cup makes a little rattling noise because you have a stack of 10 of them right next to my head. And you're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm sleeping. Hey, dude, I downloaded an app.
Okay.
I didn't pay for it. I didn't buy it. But it was free. But it's a sleep talk recorder.
Okay.
I don't know how it works. If it's supposed to record me all night or like what. But apparently you turn the app on, go to bed, and when you wake up, there will be little, it like isolates audio clips throughout the night of just when you were sleep talking. So you can just play them like little voice notes.
That sounds creepy.
Yeah, but I'm going to do it.
Okay.
I don't really understand how it would do that without like recording the entire night long.
There's something called a noise gate attack that I think that probably uses, which is when you set up a recording program to not be recording unless it's perceiving a voice.
The thing that I didn't understand was that it's on an iPhone, so does it work while my phone is locked?
Yeah, well, probably, yeah, because your phone can record while it's locked. Like, if we lock this phone right now, it'll still be recording.
Oh, true. Well, I think it would be really funny to do that, because I think we're going to find some audio clips of us fighting in our sleep.
Yeah, we probably will.
We do that almost every night, and sometimes we wake up and remember and try and piece it together later.
Yeah, what was the one we had recently where, you know what we did is, I woke up and you were like moving around and fucking ripping the blankets off.
Are you talking about the fucking cocoon situation?
This is my side of the story.
Yeah,
you get to talk
you.
after. You get to fucking talk after. So shut the fuck up.
Tell your side of the story.
I woke up and you were ripping the blankets off of me, tearing them off, punching me in the face, yelling at me, calling me names that I can't even say on the air.
That's not true.
And I thought, oh, Theo must be too hot and sweating, so you're kicking the blankets off and pushing them away from you so that you can cool down and go back to bed. So I grabbed the blanket and started pulling it away from you to help you.
It's so interesting how you have a fully pieced together version of the story this time. When I confronted you about this the next morning and you didn't remember like a big chunk of what had occurred.
Which is?
So from my fucking perspective, as a wide awake person, okay. I was sleeping and then all of a sudden I'm freezing and I'm just laying in bed in shorts and a t-shirt and nothing else, and I'm looking around and there's no bedding, no pillows, and no blanket. I'm just on a mattress, and I'm like, Brian, what the fuck? And I turn around, and you have all of the pillows under your head. You've taken all of them. There's like 6 of them.
All 6 pillows.
Yeah, a bunch of them are like in the crack next to you between the mattress and the wall. Like not even in use. And then the other ones are under your head. You're using like 3 of them. And you've taken the entire blanket and wrapped yourself in it and tucked it like under your legs and arms. And you're sleeping. And you're in 2 lanes right now. You're in the middle of the road.
There's nobody else on the road.
You are...
All right, we're good. We're back.
Jesus Christ.
Don't tell anyone.
I'm telling everyone. I'm in the passenger seat.
Okay.
Anyways. Motherfucker. I wake up and you are cocooned and I have no blanket. And I say, Brian, can I have the blanket back? And you say, shut up. And you're asleep.
I did not.
You did. You're fully asleep and you told me to shut up and making too much noise. And I try to grab the blanket from you and you're like laying on it. It's like underneath your body and it's too heavy for me to like pull it out, and you're also like actively holding a chunk of it. So I can't get it away from you, and I'm like hitting you and pushing you and trying to take the blanket away. And I'm like, Brian, fucking wake up. Give me the blanket back. I'm cold. And you roll over and push the entire blanket off of me and off of you and put it between the crack in the mattress, like on the wall. Like now neither of us have the blanket. And I wake you up fully and I'm like, Brian, I don't want that. And then you put it in between us. So now it's just like the entire blanket, like a king-sized comforter, is just wedged in between both of our bodies, like very sensory overstimulating giant lump of blanket. And then you go back to sleep.
That's what I do.
And you also said something else to me, but I don't remember what it was. But I remember laughing about it really hard the next day.
I think that, because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. This happens often where I can't tell what the fuck you're doing. But I decide on a narrative. I'm like, oh, Theo needs a pillow. Or like, oh, you're trying to get the blanket off of you or something. So then I try to force the result. Where I'm like, oh, you don't like the pillow that's under your head. Let me remove it. And I will just rip the pillow out from under your head because I think I'm helping you. And then you're like, what the fuck?
Well, the thing that doesn't help is that we both get so fucking mad when we're woken up. And we sleep in the same bed often enough at this point that it's like, look, when we first started dating, it was like if you woke me up, I would be a little bit annoyed, but I wouldn't like say anything. Like I would wake up and be like, okay, whatever, like this is Brian. But because it was like not the usual that you would be in the bed. But now like I sleep at your house like most nights. So I know that you're there even when I'm like asleep. And I know that it's you, and I know that it's normal that you're doing something. So I'm not like alarmed or like trying to figure out what's going on. I'm just pissed. And I'm like, Brian, you fucking asshole, give me the blanket back. But I'm not conscious yet. And also I sleep talk, which wakes you up sometimes. And sometimes you talk back to me while I'm sleep talking and I wake up in the middle of responding to you.
Yeah, there was one time where I woke up like in a panic because I woke up. First I thought you were talking to me. Then I thought you were talking to a different person that was like there or something. And then I like thought you were doing a work call because you were fully doing a phone call. You were doing a pretend dream phone call.
Like for work?
Yeah, I think it was when you worked at the bank. But
I used to have work dreams all the time.
You literally...
I was fully texting and driving. She had like a paragraph. That's fucked.
Wow.
Full screen brightness.
Maybe she's having a fight with somebody.
Yeah, she definitely was.
Dude, and it's like, if you're gonna do that, don't do that. But if you're gonna do that, turn your fucking brightness down at least. You fucking psycho.
Yeah, Jesus.
Anyway. Self-report. Just kidding. I'm kidding. It's a joke.
You're gonna get arrested for like driving wrong.
I remember one time at like episode 2 of the podcast, I joked that I could confess to a murder in the second hour of the podcast. And no, I said I could confess to a murder on the show. And as long as it's in like the second hour, then no one will ever find out.
That's not true though.
I don't know.
At this point, it wouldn't be true. It would just be like secret lore that like 5 people know.
No, what I hope it would be is that only like one person would know, because they would immediately report me to the police. And I would go to prison for murder.
This would be a pretty weird outlet for you to confess to a murder, too. Like, what would I say? Just be like, whoa, and I don't report it?
Yeah, then you would be a party to a crime.
Yeah, if you told me that you committed a murder, I'd probably do something.
Isn't there a word for that? Isn't it like aided and abetted?
Yeah.
Isn't that like when you facilitate somebody's evasion of the law?
Go back to the other thing you were talking about.
I don't know what I was saying.
Sleep talking.
Oh, I think I started to tell that story, but it lost steam in the middle. But I just remember being scared and thinking you were on the phone in the middle of the night. But then I became fully awake, and I was like, you are fully fucking sleep talking right now. And I just let it play out, and it was crazy.
I sleep talk so much more when I'm stressed out.
That makes sense, because some of my most intense dreams or night terrors, longtime listeners will know about that, are...
Is there anything we haven't talked about on the air?
I'm just obsessed with saying longtime listeners will know that.
I know, me too.
It's just funny. It's a team building exercise.
Oh my god!
Between us and the listeners.
We ran into a new friend at the Boston Hassel Black Market recently. Our new friend Campbell, who listens to the podcast, who referred to themselves as a longtime listener, which was so funny and so meta.
Shouts out. Thank you for listening.
Shouts out. I feel like I'm dropping multiple people that have mentioned the podcast to us recently, and it's not because that happens like super, super often. It's because it doesn't happen super, super often, and I'm so flattered and excited that it did. Yeah. I love making new friends.
It's just simply because it's a rare thing to meet somebody who's like, yo, I listened to that. Thank you for making that thing I like. It's like so few and far between that it's definitely very impactful when you do have those moments. Because, it's no secret that we're not fucking making any money off this, and we're doing this because we love it and because we care about this project.
So when people care also about the project, it's the most exciting thing ever.
Yeah, it's a big deal. So thank you to anybody out there that's like, I'm a long-time listener, and even if we don't know that, thank you.
Yeah.
Because we're doing our best. It's honestly really, really, really fucking hard to put out a weekly podcast. It sounds like so stupid to say that, like, oh, it's so hard to record myself say fucking basically nothing and then try to convince people to listen to it. It's so hard. But it's hard. It's fucking really difficult.
It's fair to say that it's hard. I think most people that I know wouldn't even talk on the phone for 20 minutes once a week. We record ourselves talking for over an hour every single week. Are you going to pay attention to the exit?
Yeah. I was the whole time.
You're really...
I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
That's not an excuse to kill me with a car.
Don't say that.
Even
Come
less
on.
of an excuse to crash my car that I haven't paid off yet.
I love you. Don't say that.
Yeah, well, fucking pay attention to the road then.
You're scaring me.
You should be scared. That's the intended outcome.
Fuck off. I love you. I'm going to be very, very careful.
Yeah, whatever.
In your car.
Mm-hmm. And with my life.
And with your life.
That should have been first.
I love you.
Love you too. Yeah, also, fuck the TikTok algorithm for showing me non-stop plane crash TikToks recently.
Fuck the bitch-ass algorithm. Fuck you. What? Did I piss you off? What did I do?
Huh?
I thought you were shaking your head at me.
Oh, no.
Oh. Yeah, TikTok sucks ass, dude. Do we want to go down that path? Is that a stressful path?
I was talking about planes, because we're going to England.
Oh, dude, you know what's another fear I have about flying?
What?
Birds flying into the propellers.
So I've actually read that that's not as big of a deal as, like, the movies make it seem, and it happens kind of often.
I was kind of thinking that because, like, I don't know if I just, like, saw this I don't even know where I learned that is a thing in movies, but I just saw something like that, and I was thinking, like, are planes just, like, on sudden death mode for birds 24/7?
I think maybe early airplanes, that was probably a big problem,
Yeah.
but planes have multiple turbines now, so if one of them fails, I don't think it's that bad. You may just have to make an emergency landing or something.
Yeah, nobody would be flying if like a one measly bird can just kill 250 people. Right?
Yeah. You know what I'm afraid of about flying?
What?
Not even that I'm going to have anything bad happen because of it, but that I'm afraid that I'm going to get afraid on the plane and have like a panic attack and be stuck in the plane. Because it's a long fucking flight.
But one advantage that it is I think it's what they call a red eye, which is...
That's arguably worse. What if I'm so anxious I can't sleep and then it's overnight?
So that might happen, but I think the benefit is that, like, so I think if you actually are afraid of flying, I think that a good strategy would be to get on the plane, take like a little piece of a melatonin, and just try to relax.
I don't know.
Sleep through the whole thing.
I don't think I am afraid of flying.
Yeah.
I've only flown... I flew a couple times when I was a kid. Like a little kid. And then I flew to LA when I was like 21. But
nice.
I don't super remember that.
Right.
Yeah.
The last time I flew was in 2019, and it was a red eye again to Arizona, and it was fucking horrible. And the sleep that I got was like, it was like I don't know how to describe this, but have you ever slept where, like, if you picture sleeping as falling into like sinking into a pit of quicksand is falling asleep deeply, right?
Yeah.
The type of sleep I got was as if I had only sunk down and the tip of my nose was still above the sand.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't know how else to say that.
I took a, like the red eye equivalent Greyhound bus to New York one time. And it was really cramped, and I tried to sleep on the bus. It was like $20 to go from Boston to New York, so worth it, I guess, but it was awful. It was so bad.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If you had the opportunity to, and you knew that you would be saved, there's staff and safety personnel there to save you, would you just fully sink into a pit of quicksand? Like, just to experience it?
Well, if it's not gonna hurt me, what's the problem?
Terror and fear. So you're pretty sure that they're gonna save you, they're there to save you, but they still made you sign a waiver.
How far into it do I sink? Does it cover my face?
As far as you want to go.
That seems like it'd be anticlimactic.
How about neck up to your chin? You're gonna go up to your chin. And then they save you once it gets to your chin.
That doesn't seem that big of a deal.
Let me ask you this. Do you think quicksand is wet or dry?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Is quicksand real?
Yeah. I'm pretty...
Like, be fucking for real right now.
I'm pretty sure it's real.
I don't think quicksand is real, dude.
So I think...
I don't think that shit's real. I think that there's sand that moves quickly that you can get sunk into, but I don't think there's like puddles of quicksand.
Let me tell you what is real.
What do you mean would it be wet? Wet sand is hard, dude.
So I've always pictured quicksand as being like
soup?
Like ice cream that you mixed up in a bowl, like a lot. Like you really mixed it up, and now it's a specific texture that I felt. That's what I thought quicksand was when I was a kid, is that texture.
That is such a specific kid reference.
Yeah, and
that's not a thing.
So quicksand is real, but I have heard or watched somewhere that it is real, but it is not even close to as dangerous as you might think. Like, it's dangerous and you can die in it, but you are not likely to, even if you are in a pit of quicksand.
Huh.
You know what's even more scarier than quicksand that you probably haven't heard of, though?
What?
That I learned about recently? That is a similar concept. I forget what it's called, but it's called like a snow pit or a tree pit. But apparently it's a thing in snowy mountains where next to a tree, in between a tree and a snowbank.
Oh, you told me about this recently.
Yeah, you can fall into a snow pit, basically, which is like a negative space of snow, much like quicksand.
You're doing the thing again.
What thing?
Where you get hungry and you talk about insane, horrible shit that you just know.
See, here, let me tell you what's happening. That's what I'm thinking about 24/7 all the time. But when I'm normal, not hungry, nourished, and well rested, I think that I know enough to know. I have the strength to not talk about that stuff.
You're just always thinking about like quicksand and like tree holes and
I I'll look at a car and just never mind. Like, I just look at things. It's like, it's PTSD, I think, and anxiety, but I just look at the world and the first things that I always see is the worst thing you can see about something.
Yeah.
But I'm a seasoned PTSD owner. Whoops, I accidentally beeped the horn and scared myself.
Oh.
That scared me.
That was perfect timing.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, I've had it for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
So I have a pretty refined and good sense as to when I am having a PTSD thought versus when I am having a real thought. Like, it's like the difference between being apprehensive and hesitant about something dangerous for very good reason and pointless anxiety.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, pointless anxiety is just your anxiety fucking with you, but you may actually have an intuition where something is dangerous and you shouldn't do it, and you're right.
Yeah.
But when I look at I don't know, like a industrial fan on the side of a building, it's not rational for me to imagine myself falling into it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what if I get stuck in the fan on the side of that building? You know. Fun fact.
I do the same thing thinking about industrial fans specifically. Very scary.
I have an industrial fan story.
What?
I'm going to be as vague as possible. But me and some friends way back in the day were spelunkers.
All right.
Connoisseurs of bandos and other fun, exciting urbex things. And long story short, I once went into a place like that through an industrial fan.
Oh my god.
And completely cut off, no electricity, no power to the building, went through one of those, and it was kind of surreal.
I would not have done that.
Yeah. I had many horror movie thoughts, man, what if this thing just turns on?
Have you ever seen 1,000 Ways to Die?
Yeah, totally.
That show traumatized me.
Yeah, my favorite was the one where a guy... you know what really made me not respect that show when I was a kid, but who cares, really? I heard that none of that shit is real. It's all of that was fictional.
Are you sure?
I think a lot of that was completely made up.
Some of it was definitely fictional.
The best lies contain a grain of truth.
I don't want to, riff on it now, because now I'm wondering if they were real.
I'm
It'd be kind of fucked up if they were real.
If it was...
There's no way they were real.
You think a guy fell off of his lawnmower and the lawnmower kept riding around in circles, running him over and over again with his guts spraying all over the lawn?
There was one that I remember vividly because it fucked me up as a little kid, where these two college guys or something were drunk and they had one of those inflatable giant balls that you can get. These were a thing that were trending, that people were buying a lot at the time, that were a summer thing. They were big inflatable circles that you could climb into and you could walk on water, quote unquote, in a big hamster wheel ball. And they had one of those, and they decided it would be funny if two of them got in it and they ran together in it down a hill.
Oh my god.
But then it started going really fast and it
it smashed them together until they died.
Yeah.
That's
I watched
awesome.
that when I was 6. And it was so in retrospect I feel bad for innocent childhood me, because I watched it and I didn't know I don't know why I didn't expect the ending, but I was that seems like a really cool idea. I bet they're gonna have fun. And I was thinking about having a giant ball and running down a hill in a giant ball, and I was yeah, fuck yeah. And then they died. And I was oh my god.
I could see why somebody would get really fucked up if you went in one of those with multiple people.
Yeah. I don't think you're supposed to use them on a solid surface either.
I feel like you'd get hurt just being in one of those alone.
On the water you wouldn't be. You'd just be floating.
Yeah, but I mean if you just rolled down a grass hill.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
Okay, that makes sense. You want to know a 1,000 Ways to Die episode that stuck with me forever?
What?
It was a guy getting an x-ray in a hospital of his head. It was a skull x-ray. And the doctor was in the x-ray booth with the nurse, and they started making out in the x-ray booth, and things got hot and heavy, and the nurse and the doctor started having sex in the thing. And as they were having sex, they were pushing the x-ray button over and over and over again, so it was taking tons of x-rays of the guy, and he was watching them have sex. So his heart rate was going up and his body was going up. And it took so many x-ray pictures of his head that it melted his fucking brain and he died. That was a real episode that those people made.
There's no way that's
And I was
real.
just watching that when I was 11, I don't know how old I was whenever that came out.
Oh my god, I feel like that would be a funny show to rewatch.
It would probably be pretty good, actually. That's a good... Yeah. You know
How
what?
come our parents were this is fine?
I think they probably knew it was fake.
Dude, I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob.
Interesting.
And I was watching that.
Hey,
I probably wasn't allowed to watch that either.
interesting observation to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I once told you that I wasn't allowed to watch anime when I was a kid, and it wasn't because of any parental restrictions. It was because my mom thought it was annoying.
My mom had... Well, this is only for when I was, like, a younger kid. I ended up, like, not really having restrictions by the time I was, like, 10 or whatever. But when I was under 10, we were... As part of, like, homeschooling, we were only allowed, like, a certain amount of TV shows to be into. So it was, like, there were, like, 10 shows that I would watch. And then it was, like, you should read books or do something else with your time. Because we were home all the time, so if we could have, we would have been watching TV all day, I guess was the logic. But I was the oldest, so that went away quickly. What?
I'm thinking about parking right now. Anyway, should I cut you off? You told me that you would kill me if I made you talk about that.
Well, I don't want to do this anymore.
Delete.
No,
Delete. Do what?
This. You told me you would give me lasagna.
Okay, lasagna time. Bye, people. What should we call this episode? Should we call it Petty Squabbles?
Yeah.
Petty Squabbles, the episode. Episode 103.
It's crazy.
All right, bye. Fuck you.
Bye.
Boston Art Podcast is an independent DIY production by Brian Huntress and Theodora Earthworms. The information contained in this episode represents the views and opinions of the original creators or our guests, and does not represent any institution, organization, or business. Find us on Instagram at Boston Art Podcast, and tune in for a new episode every Friday. Thank you for listening.